Fair Use Daily Reflections. This is a book of reflections by AA members for AA members. May 16th. Often it was while working on this step with our sponsors or spiritual advisors that we first felt truly able to forgive others, no matter how deeply we felt they had wronged us. Our moral inventory had persuaded us that all around forgiveness was desirable, but it was only when we resolutely tackled step 5 that we inwardly knew we'd be able to receive forgiveness and give it too. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 58. What a great feeling forgiveness is. What a revelation about my emotional, psychological, and spiritual nature. All it takes is willingness to forgive. God will do the rest. Courage to Change, One Day at a Time in Al-Anon. May 16th. Tradition 8 states that Al-Anon 12-step work should remain forever non-professional. We come together as a fellowship of equals where no one is in charge and no one is an expert. Every member can contribute to the healing power of our program simply by sharing his or her personal story of experience, strength, and hope. No special training or qualification other than membership is necessary or even desired. Because the help we exchange is strictly non-professional and has a specific goal, Al-Anon does not presume to solve every problem or cure every illness. Our program is a remarkably effective approach to recovery from the effects of someone else's drinking. Sometimes, however, we grapple with problems that Al-Anon doesn't address. At such times, many of us have found it useful to seek help from other sources in addition to working our Al-Anon program. Today's reminder: a wonderfully nurturing atmosphere is created when people help other people by being themselves and sharing their own experiences. I will contribute to this interchange today. There is a quote from Al-Anon's 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, and it reads, "We meet as equals and help one another, not because some are experts and others are learners, but because we all have needs and strengths." Just for today, Daily Meditations for Recovering Addicts, May 16th. Our Higher Power's Will. God's will for us becomes our own true will for ourselves. Basic text, page 48. The 12 steps are a path to spiritual awakening. This awakening takes the form of a developing relationship with a loving higher power. Each succeeding step strengthens that relationship. As we continue to work the steps, the relationship grows, becoming ever more important in our lives. In the course of working the steps, we make a personal decision to allow a loving higher power to direct us. That guidance is always available. We need only the patience to seek it. Often that guidance manifests itself in the inner wisdom we call our conscious. When we open our hearts wide enough to sense our higher power's guidance, we feel a calm serenity. This peace is the beacon that guides us through our troubled feelings, providing clear direction when our minds are busy and confused. When we seek and follow God's will in our lives, we find the contentment and joy that often eludes us when we strike out on our own. Fear or doubt may plague us when we attempt to carry out our higher power's will, but we've learned to trust the moment of clarity. Our greatest happiness lies in following the will of our loving God. Just for today, I will seek to strengthen my relationship with my higher power. I know from experience that knowledge of my higher power's will provides a sense of clarity, direction, and peace. Today, Emotions Anonymous, May 16th. Reflection for today. What does it really mean when I say in step 6, we're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character? It means I have to stop struggling, remembering I admitted my powerlessness in step 1 and put the responsibility for the removal of my character defects into the hands of God. Am I then supposed to just sit idly by waiting, twiddling my thumbs? Certainly not. I have a responsibility too. My part, however, is not to enter into the struggle again, but to become increasingly aware of the reality and presence of God in my life. To prepare myself for this, I have to spend some time each day alone with my higher power in quiet prayer and meditation. This daily discipline is my assignment. Meditation for today. May your presence in my life become ever more real to me, and may I open myself daily to your guidance. Today I will remember the struggle is not mine. I put it in God's hands. My part is to draw nearer to God. Strengthening my recovery. Meditations for adult children of alcoholics, dysfunctional families. May 16th. Disassociation. Because we shut out our parents when we were children, we tend to shut out people as adults. BRB, Big Red Book, page 187. Surviving childhood in a dysfunctional household required many of us to use a number of coping mechanisms to maintain any semblance of sanity. One was our ability to disassociate, separate mentally or emotionally from what was happening around us or to us. Although disassociation helped us survive then, as adults, it closes us off from the possibility of having healthy relationships. Sometimes fear of rejection motivates us to disassociate, so we distract ourselves because if we don't feel, then we hope we won't experience any pain. But disassociation also deprives us of healthy joy. Sometimes our hypervigilance causes us to constantly monitor our surroundings for signs of trickery or slights, but it can also deprive us of the opportunity to make good friends. With these dysfunctional filters, we can misread the words or actions of others as an assault, causing us to become defensive, go on the offensive, and shut down completely. In ACA, as we peel back the layers of our childhood survival traits, we learn to sort out what no longer works in our adult lives. We leave behind traits that no longer serve us. We gratefully see how this program gives us the strength to change and the courage to be open to others. We no longer wish to be alone. The affirmation reads, on this day, I will be kind to myself if I find myself disassociating. I will be open to people and new experiences. This is Devotion, Health and Beauty, DHB, Recovery Network, Daily Affirmations, Reflections, Devotions and Meditations. I am Day. DAA are my initials. Thank you for listening, and I am hoping that you choose to share, subscribe, like, and absolutely, most of all, be the you that you are created to be, one day at a time. And remember that you are not alone.